Imagine walking into a new year where every challenge becomes an opportunity, every setback fuels your growth, and every goal is within reach. 2025 isn't just another year, it's your launch pad to unstoppable success. What if I told you there's a proven path to transform ambition into action and dreams into reality? Today, we're diving into a journey that can make you limitless. Close your eyes for a moment and picture this, the version of yourself you've always dreamed of becoming. See the life you want to live, the places you want to go, the people you want to impact. Now, open your eyes and ask yourself this: how clear is that picture? Because here's the truth: clarity is power. Without it, you're walking in circles, chasing things that might not even be meant for you. But when you take the time to define your vision, not just in broad strokes, but with precision and detail, something remarkable happens. The world starts to align itself with your intentions. Opportunities you never saw before begin to emerge. Doors you thought were locked start to open. But first, you've got to know where you're going. Let me tell you, most people never stop to define what success looks like for them. They let the world tell them. They chase after what other people value, what society celebrates, what social media glorifies. But that's not their path. And you can't walk someone else's journey and expect to find fulfillment. You've got to sit with yourself away from the noise, the distractions, and the opinions, and ask the hard questions: what do I really want? What truly matters to me? What's the legacy I want to leave behind? That's where it starts. Not with what someone else thinks you should do. Not with what seems easy or convenient. It starts with your truth. Once you uncover that truth, it's time to paint the picture in vivid detail. Don't just say, "I want to be successful." What does that mean? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Imagine the work you're doing. Imagine the people you're surrounded by. See the smile on your face when you wake up every morning, excited to take on the day because you're living with purpose. Get specific. Write it down. I don't mean scribble a few vague sentences. I mean craft a vision so clear that it could be a script for your life. Because if you can't see it in your mind, how do you expect to bring it to life? And don't just stop at the good stuff. Think about the challenges too. Because life isn't going to hand you a dream on a silver platter. There will be obstacles, roadblocks, and days when you want to give up. But when your vision is strong enough, when it's rooted deep in your soul, it becomes your anchor. It keeps you steady when the storms hit. It reminds you why you started, even when the journey gets tough. You see, there's a power in writing things down. It's more than just putting words on a page. It's a declaration to the universe. It's saying, this is what I'm going after, and I'm not afraid to claim it. Studies have shown that people who write down their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them. But I don't need studies to tell me that. I've lived it. When you commit your vision to paper, it becomes real. It stops being a fleeting thought or a wishful idea and starts becoming a plan. Now, some of you might be thinking, but what if my vision changes? And let me tell you, that's okay. Growth is a part of the process. Your goals might evolve, and your dreams might expand. But that's not an excuse to avoid defining them in the first place. Clarity doesn't mean rigidity. It means having a foundation to build on. It means starting with what you know today and allowing yourself the freedom to adapt as you learn more about yourself and the world around you. But let me be real with you, defining your vision isn't always easy. It requires honesty, vulnerability, and courage. It means admitting to yourself what you really want, even if it scares you. It means letting go of the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, and the fear of not being enough. Because here's the thing, the only person who can limit your vision is you. Not your circumstances, not your past, not your doubters. You. So take the time, sit in silence if you have to. Meditate on it, pray about it, dream with your eyes wide open. But whatever you do, don't rush the process. This is your life we're talking about, and it's worth the effort. Remember, the clearer your vision, the stronger your drive. And when you move through the world with that kind of clarity, there's no telling what you can accomplish. There's a misconception out there that success is all about feeling motivated all the time. People think it's about waking up every morning full of energy, excitement, and drive. But let me tell you something, real motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. Some days it's there lifting you up, carrying you forward. Other days it's nowhere to be found. And if you rely on motivation alone, you'll find yourself stuck, waiting for that spark, waiting for the perfect moment. But success doesn't wait. Greatness doesn't wait. It's not about how you feel in the moment, it's about what you do, no matter how you feel. Discipline is the foundation. Discipline is the difference maker. It's the ability to show up and do the work, even when you're tired, even when you're uninspired, even when the world seems to be throwing everything at you. Because let me tell you, there will be days when the alarm clock goes off and you don't want to get out of bed. There will be moments when the grind feels endless, when the results feel far away, and when you start questioning if it's all worth it. Those are the moments when discipline steps in and says, get up, keep going. Stay the course. Discipline doesn't ask for your permission, it demands your commitment. Here's the thing about discipline, it's not something you're born with. It's not some magical quality that only a select few possess. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger the more you use it. At first, it's uncomfortable. It's hard. You'll fight against it because your mind will try to convince you to take the easy way out. But every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're building something unshakable. You're creating a habit, and habits shape your destiny. Think about it this way: small, consistent actions lead to big, life-changing results. It's not about doing something extraordinary once, it's about doing the ordinary things consistently. It's about showing up every single day and putting in the effort, no matter how small it seems. Because those little actions add up. They compound over time. One step might not feel like much, but 1,000 steps, 10,000, that's how you cross the finish line. That's how you transform your life. You see, discipline requires you to focus on the process, not just the outcome. Everybody wants the result. Everybody wants the reward. But not everyone is willing to fall in love with the grind, to embrace the daily work that it takes to get there. Success is built in those quiet moments when no one is watching, when there's no applause, no recognition, no instant gratification. It's built in the hours you spend owning your craft, learning your skills, and pushing yourself beyond your limits. Discipline teaches you to value the journey, not just the destination. And let's be honest, discipline isn't glamorous. It doesn't always feel good. It's not the shiny, exciting part of success that people like to talk about. But it's the glue that holds everything together. When the excitement fades, when the motivation runs dry, discipline is what keeps you moving forward. It's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. But let me also tell you, this discipline isn't about perfection. It's not about never making mistakes or never slipping up. It's about getting back on track when you do. It's about having the strength to say, I may have fallen today, but I'm getting up tomorrow. I'm not quitting. I'm not stopping. Discipline isn't about never failing. It's about refusing to give up. And here's the truth. The more you practice discipline, the easier it becomes. What feels impossible at first eventually becomes second nature. The habits you build today become the foundation for the life you want to live tomorrow. You start to realize that you don't need motivation to do what needs to be done. You don't need to feel like it to take action. You simply do it because it's who you are, because it's what you've committed to, because you know that discipline is the price of greatness. Every time you choose discipline, you're choosing yourself, you're choosing your future, you're choosing to rise above excuses, distractions, and doubts. And that choice made over and over again, day after day, is what will set you apart. It's what will turn your goals into achievements, your dreams into reality. Fear. It's a word that makes people freeze, makes them second guess themselves, makes them shrink away from opportunities that could change their lives. But let me tell you something about fear. It's not here to stop you. Fear is here to guide you. Fear is a signal. It's a bright, flashing light that says, right here, this is where you grow. Most people run from it. They see fear as a wall, something to avoid at all costs. But if you want to be unstoppable, if you want to reach heights you've only dreamed of, you've got to stop running. You've got to learn to face fear, to feel it, to use it. Fear is your fuel. Think about it. Every great thing you've ever done, every bold step you've ever taken, probably had fear sitting right there beside it. The first time you took a chance, the first time you stepped out of your comfort zone, the first time you stood up for something you believed in, fear was there. But you didn't let it stop you, did you? You pushed through. And when you did, you came out stronger, more confident, more capable than you were before. That's the thing about fear. It's not meant to paralyze you, it's meant to prepare you. Fear is natural. It's human. It's wired into us because it's trying to keep us safe. It's trying to protect us from danger, from failure, from pain. But here's the truth. Most of the things we're afraid of aren't life-threatening. They're ego-threatening. We're afraid of being embarrassed, of looking foolish, of failing in front of others. But ask yourself what's worse, failing and learning from it, or never trying and living with the regret of wondering what could have been. Because I promise you, regret is far heavier than failure will ever be. When fear shows up, don't push it away. Don't pretend it's not there. Acknowledge it. Say, I see you. I feel you. But you're not in control. You have to understand that fear is a passenger, not the driver. It can ride along, but it doesn't get to decide where you're going. You do. The key is to act in spite of it. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward, even when you're scared. Every time you do that, every time you take a step into the unknown, you're expanding what's possible for you. You're proving to yourself that fear doesn't have the final say. You do. Now, let me tell you something about fear that most people don't realize. It's a teacher. It shows you where you need to grow. If you're afraid of public speaking, it's because there's a part of you that knows you need to find your voice. If you're afraid of starting that business, it's because deep down you know you're capable of more. But stepping into that truth feels risky. Fear doesn't show up to hold you back. It shows up to challenge you. It's asking you, how bad do you want this? Are you willing to face me to get it? And let me tell you, the other side of fear is freedom. When you confront the things that scare you, you take away their power. You realize they weren't as big or as insurmountable as you made them out to be. Fear shrinks in the face of action. The moment you step toward it, the moment you lean in, you begin to grow. You begin to see that you are stronger, braver, and more resilient than you ever gave yourself credit for. But here's the thing, fear doesn't go away. It's not something you conquer once and for all. It's something you learn to live with, to dance with. Because as long as you're growing, as long as you're pushing yourself to new levels, fear will be there. And that's a good thing. It means you're stretching, evolving, becoming more than you were yesterday. Fear is proof that you're on the right track. So the next time fear shows up, don't see it as an enemy. See it as an invitation. An invitation to step into your potential, to rise to the occasion, to prove to yourself what you're made of. Fear isn't the end of the road. It's the beginning of a breakthrough. It's the door you have to walk through to become who you're meant to be. You can't avoid it, and you shouldn't try to. Lean into it. Embrace it. Use it. Fear isn't here to stop you. It's here to set you free. Let me ask you something. How do you expect to succeed if you're not prepared? How do you plan to rise to the moment if you've spent no time getting ready for it? Success isn't about luck. It's not about being in the right place at the right time. It's about what you've done in the dark to be ready when the light finally hits you. Preparation is the foundation. It's the work you put in before the opportunity comes, before the doors open, before anyone's watching. It's the unseen hours, the unnoticed sacrifices, the relentless focus that no one claps for. That's where success is born. See, too many people want the spotlight without putting in the rehearsal. They want the rewards without the responsibility. But life doesn't work that way. The universe doesn't hand out success to the unprepared. If you haven't done the work, you won't be able to handle the blessing when it comes. Preparation is about discipline. It's about commitment. It's about deciding every single day that you're going to do what needs to be done, even when it feels like no one cares, even when the progress seems invisible, even when the goal feels miles away. Because here's the truth, every small act of preparation is a brick in the foundation of your future. You've got to stay ready. You can't wait until the opportunity arrives to start getting prepared. By the time the door opens, it's too late to start thinking about whether you're ready to walk through it. You've got to live your life in a state of readiness. That means putting in the work today, right now, even when there's no immediate payoff. Because the opportunities that change your life rarely come with a warning. They show up when you least expect them. And if you're not ready, they'll pass you by. Think about an athlete training for the Olympics. They don't start preparing a month before the games. They dedicate years, sometimes their entire lives, to perfecting their craft. They train when they're tired. They push through pain. They sacrifice comfort, leisure, and sometimes even relationships to pursue their dream. Why? Because they know that when the moment comes, they won't have time to catch up. They know that the gold medal isn't won on the day of the race, it's won in the hours, days, and years of preparation leading up to it. The same is true for you. Whether your goal is to land your dream job, start a business, or change the world, you have to prepare like your life depends on it. Study your craft. Learn everything you can. Practice until it becomes second nature. Because when the moment arrives, when the door cracks open just enough for you to slip through, you won't have time to figure it out. You'll only have time to execute. And the quality of that execution will depend entirely on the preparation you've put in. Now, let me tell you something about preparation that most people overlook. It's not just about skills, it's about mindset. It's about building the mental toughness to keep going when the process gets hard, when the results are slow, and when the doubts start creeping in. Preparation isn't just about getting good at what you do. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle success when it comes. Because success isn't just about talent, it's about character. It's about integrity. It's about resilience. And those things are built in the preparation stage. Preparation also requires humility. It's about admitting that you don't know everything and being willing to learn. It's about seeking out mentors, listening to feedback, and constantly striving to improve. It's about understanding that no matter how good you are, there's always room to grow. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who think they've arrived, they're the ones who are always preparing, always learning, always staying ready for what's next. And let's be real, preparation isn't glamorous. It's not the part of the journey that gets highlighted on social media. It's not the part that people celebrate. It's often lonely, frustrating, and exhausting. But it's also the most important part. Because preparation is what separates the dreamers from the doers, the talkers from the achievers, the average from the extraordinary. It's the invisible work that makes the visible success possible. So ask yourself, are you prepared? Are you putting in the work every single day, even when it feels like no one's watching? Are you sharpening your skills, building your knowledge, and strengthening your character? Because when the opportunity comes, and it will come, you won't have time to wish you'd done more. You'll only have time to act. And when that moment comes, all that preparation will pay off. You'll step into your greatness, not because you got lucky, but because you earned it. There's a saying that goes, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a moment. The people you surround yourself with, they shape you, whether you realize it or not. Their energy, their mindset, their habits, their words, they seep into you. They influence the way you think, the way you act, and ultimately the way you live. So let me ask you, who's in your corner? Who's speaking into your life? Who's pushing you forward or holding you back? If you're serious about becoming unstoppable, about achieving greatness, then you have to be intentional about your circle. You can't afford to surround yourself with people who drain your energy, who feed your doubts, who plant seeds of negativity in your mind. You need people who believe in you, who challenge you, who inspire you to rise to your full potential. Because let me tell you something, nobody makes it alone. I don't care how strong you are, how talented, how driven. At some point, you're going to need a team, a tribe, a circle of people who lift you up and keep you grounded. But here's the catch, the right circle doesn't happen by accident. You have to seek it out. You have to be willing to evaluate your relationships, to ask the hard questions. Is this person helping me grow, or are they holding me back? Do they encourage me, or do they criticize me? Do they see my potential, or do they focus on my flaws? And let me be real with you, sometimes the answers to those questions aren't easy. Sometimes they hurt. But growth requires honesty, and honesty starts with looking at the company you keep. The people in your life should be mirrors and windows. Mirrors reflect who you are. They show you your strengths, your weaknesses, your blind spots. They hold you accountable. They don't let you settle for less than you're capable of. And windows? Windows let you see what's possible. They give you a glimpse of a bigger world, a higher level, a greater purpose. They inspire you to dream bigger, to reach further, to believe that you're capable of more. You need both. Without mirrors, you'll lack self-awareness. Without windows, you'll lack vision. And don't just look for people who are further along than you. Yes, you need mentors, people who've walked the path you're on, who can guide you and share their wisdom. But you also need peers, people who are in the trenches with you, fighting the same battles, chasing the same dreams. They'll understand your struggles in a way no one else can. They'll celebrate your victories and mourn your losses because they know what it takes. And finally, you need to pour into others. Be a mentor to someone coming up behind you, because when you lift someone else, you rise too. But here's the hard truth: not everyone in your current circle is meant to go with you to the next level. Some people are in your life for a season, and that's okay. It doesn't mean they're bad people or that you have to cut them off completely. But you do have to protect your energy, your vision, your purpose. If someone is constantly negative, if they're quick to criticize but slow to support, if they make you doubt yourself instead of building you up, you've got to create some distance. It's not about being mean or selfish, it's about honoring the calling on your life. And let's talk about energy for a second. You know what it feels like to be around someone who lights you up, who makes you feel like anything is possible. That energy is contagious. It fuels you. Now, think about the opposite: being around someone who complains, who doubts, who sees the worst in every situation. That energy is just as contagious, but it drains you. You can't afford to let that kind of energy take root in your life. Be deliberate. Be selective. Surround yourself with people who bring light, not darkness. Building the right circle takes effort. It takes courage to step away from relationships that no longer serve you and to step into rooms where you might feel out of place at first. But that discomfort, that's growth. When you surround yourself with people who are better, smarter, stronger in areas you're trying to grow, you elevate. They'll challenge you to rise to their level. And in doing so, you'll discover that you're capable of far more than you imagined. And don't forget, this relationships are a two-way street. If you want to attract great people, you've got to be one. Be the kind of person who encourages, who uplifts, who challenges others to be their best. Show up with integrity, with kindness, with authenticity. Give as much as you take. Because when you create a circle of mutual respect, support, and growth, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Let me tell you something powerful about belief. It's the seed of everything. Everything you do, everything you achieve, everything you dream of starts with one thing: belief. If you don't believe in yourself, in your ability to achieve, in your worthiness to receive, then you've already lost before you've even begun. Belief isn't just a nice thought or some feel-good idea. It's the fire in your soul, the conviction in your heart, the foundation upon which you build everything. Without it, nothing stands. With it, there's nothing you can't do. You see, too many people wait for someone else to validate them. They wait for the world to tell them they're good enough, talented enough, ready enough. But let me tell you the truth: the world isn't going to hand you that belief. It's not going to show up at your doorstep with a stamp of approval. That has to come from you. You've got to be the first person to believe in you. You've got to look in the mirror and see someone capable of greatness, even if no one else sees it yet. Because if you don't believe it, why should anyone else? Belief is not just about confidence, it's about faith. Faith in the unseen, faith in the journey, faith in yourself, even when the odds are stacked against you. Faith is what keeps you moving forward when the path ahead is unclear. It's what pushes you to take the first step, and then the next, and the next. Even when you're scared, even when you're doubting, even when the voice in your head is telling you to turn back. Faith isn't the absence of doubt, it's the refusal to be controlled by it. And belief isn't passive, it's active. It's not just saying, "I believe I can do this." It's showing it in your actions every single day. It's waking up and doing the work, even when the results aren't visible yet. It's staying disciplined, staying committed, staying focused because you know deep down that what you're working toward is worth it. Belief isn't just a thought, it's a way of living. It's how you carry yourself, how you speak about yourself, how you approach your goals. It's the fire that keeps burning no matter how dark it gets. But let's be honest, belief isn't always easy. There will be times when life tests you, when it throws everything it has at you to make you doubt yourself. There will be failure, setbacks, losses. And in those moments, belief will feel like the hardest thing in the world. But that's when it matters most. Anybody can believe when things are going well, when the sun is shining, when the road is smooth. But true belief shows up in the storm. True belief says, "I don't care how hard it gets, I'm not giving up on myself." You've got to fight for your belief. You've got to protect it like it's your most valuable possession, because it is. Don't let the opinions of others shake it. Don't let your own fears and insecurities steal it. People will doubt you. They'll tell you it's impossible. They'll project their own limitations onto you. But their doubt doesn't define you, your belief does. Hold on to it. Nurture it. Feed it with positivity, with growth, with action. Because belief grows stronger the more you use it. And let me tell you something else about belief, it's contagious. When you believe in yourself, truly and deeply, it inspires others to believe in you too. People are drawn to conviction, to confidence, to someone who knows their worth and is unapologetic about it. Your belief has the power to move mountains, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. It can light a fire in others, give them hope, show them what's possible. When you believe, you're not just changing your own life, you're changing the world. But belief starts small. It starts with a decision, a choice to trust yourself, to bet on yourself, to say, I am capable, I am worthy, I am enough, and that belief grows with every step you take, with every challenge you overcome, with every time you refuse to quit. It's not about being fearless, it's about believing in yourself, even when the fear is loud. It's about standing firm in who you are and what you're here to do, no matter what comes your way. So believe. Believe in your dreams, in your power, in your purpose. Believe that you are here for a reason, that your life has meaning, that your efforts will bear fruit. Believe that you have everything you need inside of you to achieve everything you desire. Because you do. Belief is your greatest weapon, your strongest shield, your most valuable asset. Hold it tight. Trust it. Live it. And watch how it transforms your life. Success isn't reserved for a chosen few. It's waiting for anyone willing to show up and do the work. As we step into 2025, decide to be unstoppable. Commit to your vision, embrace the process, and watch as life rewards your efforts beyond your imagination. This is your time, go claim it.